I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about this conversation that I had with my mom about how should I word this? It's basically about how when people don't like you and how they, act with you, or like knowing that you don't like. Okay, so you know how some people can have secret animosity about against other people, and instead of them telling them, hey, I don't appreciate when you did X, Y, and Z, they'll literally try to disadvantage you, in some places, in some ways, and they'll make it seem like it's you who are incompetent, to catch on or anything like that. And they'll steady invite you to their events and situations or whatever they have going on, and ostracize you. Like, you would have to be the one to say sorry, no, I can't make it. And then you saying sorry, no, I can't make it is their reason for, oh, well, if they didn't go to the last one, we might as well not invite them. Like, everything to avoid, talking about a situation. Like I was talking about in my past videos, non-confrontational people, they'll purposely do other things instead of telling you, hey, I don't mess with you. Like, we're not cool or anything like that. Let me just take this off because I feel like it's all sideways and hanging. But so I wanted to talk about something else. So me being depressed, I've been depressed for a long time. I don't even want to talk about it because that's the past. And I've learned a lot in when I was depressed and everything. One of the things I did learn was that when you are down, people will kick you down. They're like, oh, finally, this strong girl is down. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, throw salt in your wounds or whatever the case may be. So I was talking to my mom yesterday about when you build yourself up and you come out of that hole, you are almost very protective. Well, myself, I've been protective, but you're even more protective of everything, you've grown into. I purposely don't show that I'm not depressed anymore, because I've learned how people perceived me while I was depressed, and I kind of want them to, because when I wasn't depressed, before I got depressed, obviously, they were my biggest fans. You know what I mean? And when I got depressed, they tried to kick me while I was down. So now that I'm not depressed, I'm not trying to tell anyone that I'm not depressed. Like, I'm still keeping my own, I'm kind of keeping like public habits, you know, like I don't even show people that I, do anything that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of keep, I literally keep everything dumbed down, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do anything because every time, no, I'm actually keeping watch of how people react towards me. And these same people make it seem like it's not them, that it's me. So the conversation that I was having with my mom was, when you are out of that hole, like, how do you go about being out of that hole? Like, because you do come out of, you erupt a new person. Like, you are a brand new, like, you broke through, so you're a whole person, right? So hey y'all, thanks for coming. um so the conversation that I was having with my mom was, when you do emerge out of that hole, how do you then, I guess, not to say perceive yourself, but how do you show who you are? You know what I mean? And me, I don't want to. I don't want to show anyone. I mean, okay, I don't want to say I don't want to. I want to do it when I'm ready to. And until I'm ready to, this is the most you'll get. You know what I mean? Because I would have to be ready. Like, I would have to build a safety net for, heaven forbid, I'm unhappy and I fall. You know what I mean? when I was unhappy, the reason I felt like the reason why I was like very depressed or whatever was because I got out of this relationship, and I was with this guy for a long time. And literally we were hip to hip. We did everything together until he kept cheating on me over and over again. And when I confronted him, he would get mad at me for confronting him about it. And it got to a point where I was like, okay, let's just end the relationship. But he never wanted to end the relationship. He kept following me around, making it seem like we were still together, doing everything with me and everything like that. So I ended up taking it upon myself to just talk to someone else. I talked to someone else, did whatever, like I moved on. I moved on. And he was so crushed to where he started like not only treating me all kinds of other ways, but he started like, I don't even, it was so many weird little things like he was doing. Like he was pretending like to show everyone that we were still like in love or whatever. But he was throwing me off. Like he was doing weird disadvantages towards me, and he would not leave me alone. Like he tried to, I guess, call it a lick back, or like try to like take me down or whatever. Because obviously, like I said, I didn't really have a safety net. Like no one really knew how I was feeling because he kind of made me cut everyone else off. Like all the girls that I had in my life, like all my friends, he tried to hit on them, and they kind of, because my friend group, we were girls who were, I guess, the nerdy bunch. We didn't really talk to anyone who didn't talk to us. So the fact that my ex was talking to them, they were feeling like, oh, they finally were able to like, have an advantage or whatever the case may be. And they chose him over me. So I was like, okay, bye. And obviously our relationship wasn't really that close. It was only academic anyway. And my male friends, he made me cut them off because he felt like they were, secretly hitting on me or secretly wanting to be with me or whatever. So I stopped being with them. Oh God, let me block this troll, y'all. So that's how I ended up just being with only him and no one else, literally. So that kind of messed everything up. So when the relationship went foul, when it went south or whatever the case may be, I literally didn't have anybody. He literally separated me from my family too, because he took me around his family, and he would never come around my family. I went around his family all the time, slept over his family's house all the time. Like I was always at his family's house until when me and him had our quarrels and I wasn't no longer allowed with them or whatever the case may be. I ended up just being back to square one, or being here, just home, not talking to anybody and everything like that. Like it kind of, put me into this like depressed kind of thing where I was like mentally spiraling or whatever. Anyway, now that I've gotten over it a long time ago. But I haven't said anything. I mean, I've tried to kind of put it into words because that was kind of literally my first time like getting to a point where I was like ready to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like I was ready to like live my life, but I just didn't know like which side should I show people first, because I knew that the people who were rooting for my downfall were so happy that I was finally down, and I didn't want to show that I was okay because I didn't want them to I didn't want them to switch narratives. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want the people to finally see me healed and be like, hey, finally I was waiting for you. No, I want those same people to keep that same energy. The people who was pushing me down, I want them to continue, because when I mean, not to say I want them to continue, but I kind of don't want them to forget, like, anyway, the conversation that I did have with my mom was that when you are feeling better and when you are doing better, you don't want no one to know. You don't want anyone to know because you're just that protective. And we were talking about that relationship. It's gonna get so crazy, but the whole thing about the past video, I already talked about it in past videos, but it's basically about the lady getting married to her ex in high school, who them two, they were already married. And I kind of wanted to tell my mom, like, because of the public scrutiny, if you find joy in something, you do want to keep that privately and to yourself. but they ended up, wanting to move forward with it. So they did, get divorces and married each other. And so everyone is in uproar. They're like, oh no. And I'm like, I hate having to be the odd one out, but from where I'm from, if I was dating somebody and we decided to take it to the next level, I would definitely almost do, what happened. Anyway, um I just, what's it called? I just wanted to tell my mom that I understand her, and I was telling everyone actually on my last videos and everything that I actually understand how she's moving, because if you weren't happy and you've tried all kinds of ways to be happy, when you are finally happy, you kind of want to like explode in your happiness. But me, I am very careful, because literally, like I said, how everyone wanted to see me down and everything, I just don't want them to see that I've, risen out of my ashes. I don't want them to see that, because I know how they're gonna change and be how they were before I fell. I don't like yes men. You know what I mean? So I feel like until I do find my knight in shining armor, my understanding that, first of all, I don't treat them bad, because that, I feel like, is one of the reasons why. But I didn't treat him bad. I felt like we were just both not ready to kind of be how we were. And when we were ready, it was already like too late. So many things had transpired. But yeah, I just feel like the next time I'm ready for something, I'm not telling anybody personally. But I will probably most likely just be on YouTube, because all of y'all are anonymous. Y'all don't really know me in real life. No harm, no offense. Like, I do love y'all. That's why I'm on here telling y'all. But y'all don't know my progress. Y'all don't know what I'm doing. Y'all don't know much about, you know what I mean? Please make sure to like this live. Thanks, Aunt Man Tony. Please like this live. April Stevens, please like the live if you haven't yet. Thank you, Galilea. Please like the live. Science Bradley, please like the live. And this guy says, apparently I don't have confidence. Happiness comes from within, not from outside sources. Yeah. Please like the live. And that's not the case at all. I really don't care too much about other people's what is it called? Approval. If I did, I probably would have my boobs out and like thighs showing and all kinds of things to be like begging for attention or whatever. I'm not begging for attention. I came out. I'm trying to explain how I am as organic as possible with my joy, my peace, my pace, my journey. I'm not faking a funk. I'm not faking a happy funk. Like, I'm not gonna be balling and wearing, like all kinds of things like that. Like, I'm just coming out when I feel the reason to move. I don't know how else to say it. Anyway, that's kind of all I had to say. I'm protecting the S out of my peace, the sugar honey iced tea out of my peace, out of my movements. But if I do feel moved to come out here and talk to y'all about it, I most likely will. And y'all will probably be the first people to know what I'm committing to doing. If I haven't committed to something yet. I've actually committed to a few things. But as far as like anything crazy, I haven't said anything, because people are, like I said, rooting on my downfall. And yes men are just gonna be yes men. the reason why I wanted to come to YouTube to talk to this about y'all was because I was having a conversation with someone else about the conversation that I had with my mom. And this person is literally asking me like the whole questionnaire. What are you up to? What is new? What is this? What is that? Are you still, are you like literally asking where I'm at? And I'm not going to just tell you where I'm at because I know that you might disadvantage where I'm at because you might think I'm not confident enough to catch that. You know what I mean? So I'm not showing any progress. I'm not showing, I mean, obviously I'm not showing y'all any progress. I'm just progressing on my own. I'm doing things where I don't know how else to explain it. I'm expressing myself carefully. I'm moving carefully, quietly, silently. The G and lasagna. You're not gonna know anything until, you know what I mean? Until Jesus comes. I'm sorry. Because I know people who are religious are like, but anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And take it how you want to take it. I don't care. This is all about me and my journey. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe so that you don't miss a live. I love y'all. Peace. Bye.